Hello, welcome back folks to our new episode of Epic Enigma, and today I shall take you through the introduction to poetry, but first let's define what is poetry. Poetry is a literary form that uses aesthetic and rhythmic qualities of language to evoke meaning. The aesthetic quality of a language is referred to its beauty and artistic expression. This includes imagery, sound devices, figurative language, and etc. While the rhythmic qualities of a language pertain to the pattern of sound in a poem, including meter, repetition, pacing, so on and so forth. Now, what is the purpose of a poetry? The purpose of poetry is to express emotions, first thing. Secondly, to tell stories. Thirdly, is to provoke thought or explore the human experience. Next thing I want to talk about is the types of poetry. In poetry, we have three major types of poetry. That's the lyric poetry that focuses on personal emotions and thoughts. Next, we have the narrative poetry that tells a story, and this includes characters and plots. Then we have the dramatic poetry that is often similar to a play and includes dialogue. Now let's dive deeper into the forms of poetry. We have three forms of poetry. First one is the free verse that has no set rhyme scheme or regular meter and allows for flexibility and natural speech. The next one is the sonnet, the 14 lines with various rhyme scheme. The last but not least is the limerick, a humorous 5-line poem with an AABBA rhyme scheme. We shall talk about the different types of rhyme scheme. My esteemed learners, let's dive into the basic poetic devices. The first poetic device we want to tackle is the imagery. This is the language that appeals to the senses. For example, the golden sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange and purple, while the gentle waves lapped softly at the shore. This sentence creates a vivid image of a sunset, appealing to the senses of sight, that is colors, and sound, that is waves. The next basic poetic device is the metaphor and the simile. These are used for comparisons and to add depth. The simile usually uses like or as. The next poetic device is the alliteration. This is the repetition of consonant sounds at the beginning of words. For example, the wild winds whisked through the willow trees. The repetition of the W sound creates a musical quality and emphasizes the movement of the winds. Last but not least is the personification. Personification gives human traits to inanimate objects. For example, the angry storm pounded on the rooftops as if it was shouting in rage. Here, the storm is given human qualities, anger and shouting, suggesting emotion and creating a dramatic sense of the weather's impact. The next thing I want to talk about is the rhyme scheme and the meter. Rhyme schemes are often patterns of rhyming words. Example patterns A B A B A A B B. And in rhyme schemes, don't forget, my esteemed learners, we have the irregular and regular patterns of rhyme schemes. In this example above, A B A B A A B B. A B A B is a form of irregular rhyme scheme, while the AABB is a form of regular rhyme scheme. We shall talk about it in our next video. The other thing is the meter. The meter is the rhythm of a poem often structured in feet. Iambic pentameter. To understand the meter, it's a series of stressed and unstressed syllables. And the significance of rhyme scheme and meter is always to create musicality and enhance the overall effect of the poem. Last but not least, my esteemed learners, I want to talk about the common themes in poetry. And the common themes in poetry often include love, which the authors always explore relationship and emotions. The other one is nature, which is always the reflections of the natural world and its beauty. The other common theme is death, the contemplations on mortality and loss. Last but not least is the identity, the self-discovery and personal